I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah? Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I all the demons quiet, yeah, we were built to thrive, yeah.
Happy Tuesday evening, everybody, and welcome to Turn 1. I'm Sean Fitz. Thanks so much for being here. A lot of action tonight. We're getting ready to go underway here for the Downforce Racing Series on Tuesday night, right here at Talladega. This is going to be a one for the books with this group. Right now, Ryan Patty, I'm sorry, let's not say right now. Let's just call it like exactly like it is. Ryan Patty on the pole. Caden Henry Oaks, last week's race winner at Chicagoland, is going to start P2. Vinny Mastias, Charles Woods, and Andrew Lutz Jr. in your top five. Kevin Gunther, Tristan Perrine, Paul Crumry, John Zurich. John, you messaged me on and corrected that name. I will make sure we get that right moving forward. And Todd McGregor, your top 10. Again, hello everybody, I'm Sean Fitz. Appreciate you being here on Turn 1, running solo tonight in the booth. Last night, you caught an amazing call with myself and Kevin England over at the Sim 500 group, but tonight, you've got good old Sean Fitz right here in the booth, and we're about to go super speedway racing. It's going to be a really, really good time. If you haven't watched the super speedway race, well, I'll tell you, Talladega is the one to watch. This high bank, 33 degrees of banking, over 2.5 mile length racetrack is going to produce some exciting racing across the board. Drivers are getting grid up and getting ready to roll here in just a little bit. And there they go. You see it now. Everybody's starting to roll as they head off into turn number 2. It looks like Kevin Gunther's has an issue. He is down on the apron and stopped. I also show he may have made contact with Tristan Perrine. I'm not quite sure exactly what's going on there. Either way, though, these drivers are getting lined up to go green flag racing here tonight at Talladega. Before we get the rest of the way through, let's just quickly talk about a programming note. Heading on over to the Sim 500 Sunday Night Thunder Group this Sunday night. If you've missed some of the racing action there, well, you will not want to miss this weekend. That'll be 8 Eastern, 7 Central. Let's try that again. It'll be 9 Eastern, 8 Central right here on Turn 1 of the Monday night. We head to Pocono with the Monday Night Cooks Landscape Group Cup Series right here. That first race last night was a big hit. They will be back live on Turn 1 at Pocono starting at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central next Monday night right here on Turn 1. Hey Ron, we see you over in the YouTube chat. We appreciate you being here, buddy. Sorry we're going to miss you, but I'm sure these guys are going to put on one heck of a show in your absence, and we really wish you could be here tonight. Pace car is going to get ready to duck down pit road, but that just means these drivers are going to have to find their way down this front straightaway at Talladega. The start-finish line, not in the traditional place. So they have got to come all the way through this tri-oval. But Ryan Patty, Caden Henry Oaks are going to work to put a run together as they're through the restart zone area. They see the green flag, and we're racing at Talladega. Side by side, they roll through 1 and 2. These restrictor plates on these cup cars are going to let them or require them to really run this lap pretty hard. They're not going to be up to speed here for the next lap and a half. But you see, Ryan Patty, he's got a huge shove from Vinny Mastias. You're going to see a lot of runs as Vinny's now going to move to the high line. As they roll out of turn number 4 for the first time. These cars slowly started getting wound up on the inside line. Here comes Ryan Patty. He's got the 7 car all over his bumper. That's Andrew Lutz Jr. Vinny Mastias out to the high line. He's got some help there. That's Caden Henry Oaks. Again, last week's race winner. not a whole lot's going to translate from that race to here tonight. But Henry Oaks looking to put up another checkered flag in the season. Side by side as these cars are basically up to speed at this point. Rolling through 3 and 4. Most of these drivers holding a pretty steady will to kick this race off. Not that I'm surprised one bit that most of the time these DRS drivers put on one heck of a show. And you're going to see it here as they roll out through the tri-oval, through the start-finish line. Masteus is going to lead that lap as they come to lap number 3. You see that cloud cover coming over the track just a little bit. That is going to give them the opportunity to maybe pick up a little bit of grip down there in 1 and 2. These cars, they're not going to run really loose, but they are certainly going to be a little dodgy, especially further back in the draft and the air manipulating their spoilers. As we see Henry Oaks now, he went to the high line, got his way all the way up front now, has taken the air off the nose of Vinny Masteus. Caden Henry Oaks now out front on the bottom. And he is going to lead lap number 3. And really a 3-car breakaway there on the bottom. Here comes the 7 of Lutz Jr. to the outside. He wanted to try to pick up that outside groove and head to the front, but no. Now the top 5 single file as they rolled out of 2. Oaks continues to lead that bottom line. Masteus, Patty, Lutz Jr., Perrine, your top 5. John Zerke, Charles Woods, Kevin Gunther, Jeff Hollingsworth, Paul Crummery, your top 10 here. Now, all of a sudden, that bottom line really starting to show some force, especially at a racetrack like this. Here at Talladega, we could see 2-3 wide racing pretty consistently, but it depends on who's up front and who you have with you as a drafting partner. You heard me talk a lot of that during the American Stock Car Racing Series here on Turn 1 on Monday nights, formerly. Those guys ran back-to-back Talladega and Daytona. We got a caution on the speedway. Looks like, oh no, Todd McGregor up against the wall. It looks like Mike Whitaker is also spun there on the bottom. Let's take a quick look at the replay and find out exactly what may have brought this caution out for the first time here tonight. Whoa! Whitaker went for a ride up high on the wall, but he certainly had some help out of shape. And that is unfortunately going to bring the caution out for the first time here tonight at Talladega on lap number 6. Caden Henry Oaks is your leader. Vinny Masteus, Ryan Patty, Andrew Lutz Jr., Tristan Perrine, your top 5. Biggest mover so far through the top 5 is Jeff Hollingsworth. That driver, we saw him last night run. We see him on sometimes on Sunday nights as well. Hollingsworth, 3 nights in a row on turn 1, currently running 7th and up 7 spots. Not a bad run for the 97 here in the early going at Dega. We're under caution for the first time here with the Downforce Racing Series on turn 1. You're watching turn 1. Pace car lights are off, and the group for the Downforce Racing Series getting ready to go back green flag racing as they take lap number 9. Again, I want to welcome everybody to the broadcast. Thanks so much for being here. Rod, I saw your messages in chat, buddy. Yes, the horizontal is up. I posted a link in the chat. Let me know if you have any trouble finding that. Hello, Vertical Stream. We see you guys over there. Almost a full dozen over there watching right now. Appreciate you being here. If you haven't already done so, do me a favor. Like the stream. If you just give me that thumbs up really quick over there, it's going to help us with the YouTube algorithms and really kind of bring others to the channel. So if you haven't already done so, do me a favor. Give me that thumbs up, that like. We'd love to see it. Especially, those on the horizontal side of YouTube, by the way. We'll take the likes too over there, so don't hesitate. Facebook, Twitch, I see you, by the way. I don't see enough engagement over there. But nonetheless, we're getting ready to go back green flag racing here. Caden Henry Oaks, Vinny Masteas, Andrew Lutz Jr., Ryan Patty, John Zerke getting ready to go back green flag racing. And there it is, green flag out under a shaded start-finish line. Henry Oaks gets rolling on the outside. Masteas is going to pick him up on the bottom. Both lines rolling free and clear as they roll back off into one. Top 4 now, single file. Top 5, 6, almost 7 cars, single file right there on the bottom as they roll out of turn 2. Down the backstretch they go. Oaks in the 51, Chevy Camaro out front. And you can tell I don't do this for a living or anything. That Chevy Camaro out front, free and clear. He does have, that's 3 Chevys in a row. A little bit of manufacturer teamwork happening here with Masteas and Patty just behind him as they roll down through the bumps across this start-finish line, or I'm sorry, this tri-oval to the start-finish line here at Talladega. As we talked about at the top of the broadcast, it's going to take about 2 laps for these drivers to get up to speed, but they're all single-filed out. Does anybody elect to try to make that high line work? It is very early in this race. We talk all the time in these super speedway races how important it is. You've got to be there at the end to have a chance to win. That means sometimes you've got to be patient. You've just got to hold back. No point in really pushing the issue. And, well, you're seeing that kind of come to fruition here. Everybody just minding their P's and Q's. They had that early caution, a pretty big wreck towards the back of the field. Those drivers got situated, they're back rolling here. And now everybody just looking to turn some laps. About a fuel run here would be 35, I believe 35 to 40 laps. But it's really dependent on where you are in the field. Drafting here is a big part of fuel mileage, and obviously Caden Henry Oaks in that 51 on the point right now. With Vinny Masteas, Ryan Patty behind him. And those 3 drivers have drastically different aspects of the race. And by that I mean Henry Oaks, he's got that 51 flat out. He's trying to push that pedal through the firewall as you see him start to fan out towards the rear of the field. But Oaks has got that car pegged at all it can give. Meanwhile, Masteas, Patty, Perrine, Lutz Jr., those drivers, they're rolling around here 2/3 throttle, maybe half, and even less on times, to avoid really getting into the back of the car in front of them and upsetting those cars. It's all about throttle management and run management here. You'll see big runs picked up by some of these drivers as Masteas looks like he got a little loose, and to save it had to gut below that yellow line. That is traditionally here at these super speedways out of bounds. If you advance your position below the yellow line, you were supposed to give it back immediately, otherwise face penalty. But these top 3 have got this sorted out, but it looks like now we're going to have a driver jump out to the outside. Who is that? Is that Kevin Gunther? It looks like it is. Gunther alongside. He is alongside Jeff Hollingsworth. Maybe looking for a little bit of a run. He's going to pick up some help as well. That driver out of Bristol, Rhode Island, looking to pick up some drafting help, and he's going to have it. I believe, who is that going to be back there? Is that Tyler White? It's not Tyler White. Is that Charles Woods? Maybe. One of those 2 drivers there. I believe that's the 40. Nope, that's the 12. That is Paul Crumry giving him a shove, but here comes this outside line. It is starting to materialize. We heard, we talked about everybody kind of minding their P's and Q's. Well, on occasion, especially if you get a run, you go. And you see there, Ryan Patty's going to jump to the high line and work to take that lead away 2 by 2 as they roll out of turn number 4. Here comes Ryan Patty off the nose of Andrew Lutz Jr. Side by side through this tri-oval. Ryan Patty is going to be your new leader here on lap 14. Patty's going to get clear of Caden Henry Oaks. That is going to leave the 7 car up there, but he's got help from the 97. He also has the 31 up there with him. And now you heard me talking about this these 2x2x2 racing at these super speedways. This is how it comes to fruition. These drivers, big pack. Oh, I saw Hollingsworth really take a dive to the inside. Gotta see if we can figure out a little bit of a better view coming down the backstretch there. Meanwhile, Andrew Lutz Jr. is going to take Hollingsworth to the front row. Those two able to capitalize and come to the front. New leader now, Andrew Lutz Jr. That 7 car has the help from the 97 as they roll through turn 1 and 2 again. Those top 4 were single file there, but Caden Henry Oaks is going to jump out to the high line. He's going to try to pick up a bit of a run. I believe that's going to be off the nose of the 31 of Kevin Gunther. And now Masteus is going to catch wind of that as well. We're going to see another big run start to build on the high line. And there goes Ryan Patty outside Hollingsworth. He's going to have a huge draft. Playing that perfectly, but it's going to stall out right here alongside Hollingsworth. Oh, the 7 car. I'm sorry, not the 7 car. Who is that? Is that the 93? That's Tristan Perrine. Got loose there, coming across the bumps in the tri-oval. Underneath, everybody had to check up a little bit, but here comes Ryan Patty, our pole sitter here tonight, looking to take the lead back, and right now it's a drag race down the backstretch. Who's the better push? Is that going to be Vinny Masteus or going to be Jeff Hollingsworth on the inside? We're going to find out. It's going to be Hollingsworth because Patty just took the lead there on the bottom. But now that's going to give Masteus an opportunity to get back up there with Oaks, a familiar front runner, looking for an opportunity to shove Masteus up there to the front. It's not going to happen coming across down to tri-oval, though. Ryan Patty's going to have the 7 glued to his bumper. Ryan Patty's going to lead that lap. That's 3 different leaders, 3 different laps here at Talladega, and that is super speedway racing at its finest out of these drivers. Oaks is tight to the bumper. Masteus on that outside line. They are going to be a pretty big dominating force here coming down this backstretch. You're going to see Masteus nearly alongside our leader as they roll into 3. Yep, just like that, just on the outside of the 7 car. Oaks, you see him all over the back bumper of Masteus. Trying to make that outside line happen, but here comes the tow. Hollingsworth is going to step out. And he's going to pick up Masteus, trying to get that outside line moving. Side by side through the tri-oval. Jeff Hollingsworth. Oh, that was tight. I think Hollingsworth was going to be called the leader. That's 4 laps of 4 leaders. You see those big runs. These drivers are getting off of 4 now. Hollingsworth nearly has, he's out free and clear of Ryan Patty, but he's trying to bring the help with him. Masteus tight to the bumper. You got to get clear now if you're going to go. Otherwise, you're going to get stuck up there. It looks like they have plenty of room. And Masteus went, Hollingsworth stayed. Masteus went to the bottom. And he's going to take the spot away there from Ryan Patty. Now that outside line's going to lose a little bit of momentum. 5 laps, 5 different lead changes coming to the start-finish line. Vinny Masteus started 3rd here tonight. Currently running 1st off the nose of Ryan Patty. He's got Andrew Lutz Jr. back behind him. Jeff Hollingsworth back on that bottom line. Tristan Pate, John Zerke, your top 6 here. Charles Woods, Henry Oaks is falling back that outside line, losing momentum. And Kevin Gunther rounding out your top 10 here in the early going of the Downforce Racing Series on Turn 1. Happy Tuesday night, everybody. We are with this group all the way through the beginning of August and look forward to getting these races under our belt as we roll through the summer heat. It's going to be a really, really good series down the pipe here. Masteus has got a great push here. He's going to end our streak of new leaders every single lap. Masteus is going to lead them as they come to lap number 20 here, a quarter of the way through tonight's race at Talladega. Now, everybody on that bottom line there's about 7 cars there, single filed out. Nobody pushing the issue, and that outside line pretty much died. Caden Henry Oaks sitting back now in 10th. He's trying to get it back together, pushing some of these other cars, but really not able to bring anything to fruition, at least this lap. Masteus is going to lead another one. While we've got the opportunity, let's ride on board a driver in that top 5. You know what? A good one would be Caden Henry Oaks. He is trying to muscle up that outside line here. Let's ride on board the 51. Taking advantage of that ride on board, but I had to come show you this. 3 wide as they roll out a 4. This is back here. They're all back here battling 13th through 20th. Making it 3 wide back there. Meanwhile, Vinny Masteus continues to lead the single car, the single line 6-car group here up front. Looks like some of those drivers in the back having a little bit of trouble. It's all about partnerships here. Getting with the right mix of cars at the right amount of time to capitalize on the runs. You've got to have somebody that can push really well. You got to have somebody that can lead really well. Most of the time, you cannot do both well, especially if you've got any damage to the car. But even more so, they're going to be wrecking towards the back. Several cars into the fence. And we're under caution. Looks like we've got a couple drivers involved here. Todd McGregor, Rick Ellison, Cody Eldred, Dave Hunt, Caden Henry Oaks I saw involved as well. Yeah, he's slowed down on the bottom. Some front end damage there. Let's see if we could go back here and find out exactly what caused this caution to come out on lap number 24 here. First for Charles Woods. That's a bad view there. Woods hits the wall pretty hard, but he had some help. You know what? Let's just make this really easy. Let's do the old rewind McGee here. I think it started just in front of him with the 12. Oh, he had some help. The 90, who was that? The 35 made contact. And that sent Woods flying through the air. He's actually going to make contact there with Ross Rawlings as well. And that is going to bring the caution out for the second time here tonight for the Downforce Racing Series. Live at Talladega here on Turn 1. just past the quarter way through this race here tonight. Vinny Macias leads. We're going to step aside. You're watching Turn 1 Broadcasting. Back live here at Turn 1 at on Turn 1 at Talladega. The pace car getting ready to head down pit road. Out front, Vinny Macias, Ryan Patty. Going to control this restart as we get ready to go back. Green flag racing, lap number 26 of 80 for the Downforce Racing Series. All the way down this long straightaway here on the front stretch. Well, not straightaway, tri-oval area. And the green flag back out. Masteus out to a big jump here. That outside line come apart completely. Patty's going to jump in behind the 7 of Andrew Lutz Jr. Now your top 6, top 7, no, top 8 now, all single file. And hey, Ron, yeah, I would agree with that. Everybody's, for the most part, behaving. It's still a long way to go. I think there's some moves happening here that probably could wait a little bit, but that's okay. You know, you're not here to ride around lap after lap after lap. You want to race, and you're seeing that out of these drivers. Whoa, what a move. Who was that? Was that Henry Oakes back there? No, I don't know who that was. Was that Jerry Bergeron? It was not. It was, I'm not sure who that was. A little bit further up. That was Andrew Lutz. Not to be confused with Junior. He made an aggressive high line to low line move. That kind of split the field up here. A 5-car breakaway led by Vinny Masteus now on the bottom. As they come down the back stretch, trying to get these cars up to speed. Remember, it takes about 2 laps or so of pretty hard racing to get these machines up to speed. And here comes that outside line. Lutz Jr. is going to lose a little bit of room back there behind Hollingsworth. And here comes Kevin Gunther. He's going to have some help. I believe that is going to be Rick Ellison back there, as well as Jerry Bergeron. John Anderson's in this mix now. Tristan Perrine's back up here. We've got some other movers and shakers up front, including Jerry Bergeron, Rick Ellison. Those 2 drivers started basically 1-2 with on the same row of one another, and here they are running with the same spots again. But you see that 1 car jump to the high line as Masteus goes by that outside line, starting to form. I believe that's going to be Gunther leading that group in. Oh no, it was Andrew Lutz, but we're back under caution. We've got a car in the fits. That's Fred Williams. So far, it looks like it was just him all by himself coming down the backstretch. He's going to come to a stop. Let's see if we can take a quick look at the replay. Oh, that car broke loose and turned left on him. He probably had some help, obviously. We did not catch that on the replay. Let's see if we can take one more look at it here as Williams goes for a ride to bring out the caution for the 3rd time. Well, that's not any better of a view. He's kind of strung out there already. So either way, Fred Williams, we're going to bring out the caution here. Masteus is going to be your leader. Lutz Jr., Andrew Lutz Sr., or Andrew Lutz, Ryan Patty, Jeff Hollingsworth, your top 5. Everybody electing to stay out here. Still not, they've got about at least 20 more laps, or most likely around 25 laps remaining in this fuel run before they need to start worrying about coming down pit road. I think you would have, no matter what, you would have to two-stop this race unless we see enough cautions, which we obviously don't want to see. But, you know, there's a possibility here from a tires, you know, from a pit strategy you can make this work, but they're all lined up. And it looks like Masteus is going to lead the whole pack down pit road here. And he is. Vinny Masteus bringing the crew down pit road for the first time here tonight. For most of these guys in the top 10. We're going to step aside just a moment and bring you back Green Flag Racing here for the Downforce Racing Series. You're watching Turn 1. Pace car heading down back pit road. Dave Hunt, Andrew Lutz Jr. on the front row. Hunt did not, or he did come down pit road there, but I think that was just going to be for fuel only, while a good portion of the rest of the field took tires. We'll see how this plays out. But the track position, Hunt is hoping to be important here. Green flag back out. Lap number 33. The 7 car on the outside gets rolling pretty good there. But really, he cannot get past the Hunt car there. That's the, that's the 53 down on the bottom. The 7 just cannot squeeze, can't get clear there. It's going to be a drag race down the backstretch, as you see. Lutz Jr., that car looks a little darty down the backstretch, getting up to speed. Still fairly even, 2x2, 10 rows back, or 5 rows back, yeah, 6 rows back. Now even more. Hunt's going to lead that lap here. Masteus, though, tied to the bumper. Here comes Hollingsworth as well. The 7 car got squeezed out to the outside. It's going to lose his momentum. That outside line not going anywhere. Now, all of a sudden, from a 2x2, it turns into basically a single file 8-car run here as they roll through 3 and 4. These cars starting to get up to the top speed here, nearing 200 miles an hour at the super speedway Talladega. Nearly 2.7 mile length racetrack. 33 degrees of exciting, action-packed banking from wall to wall here. Some of these drivers, I imagine, looking to settle in. 3 cautions so far. Not halfway yet as we see a car coming out off of pit road. Not quite sure who that is. Is that, that could be, I'm not quite sure, but he's good. That is going to be Caden Henry Oaks. Oaks is going to go a lap down here, I believe. Yep, that is Henry Oaks. Last week's race winner, not the night he wants to see, going a lap down here. As we got cars going through the grass, I believe that was Glenn Campbell. It was, oh, sorry, Gary Bergeron. Sideways across the track at a tri-oval. Pace car is going to be rolling under caution. Jerry got it, or at least got sideways here in the tri-oval. Let's see what may have happened there to cause that. Oh, he probably had a little bit of help. That looked like Kevin Gunther back behind him. And that looks like that tracks. Yep, Kevin Gunther in the 7. That was definitely him. Those two make contact. And this is kind of the byproduct of super speedway racing, especially when you're bumping. You're actually bump drafting. You're running right up to the bumper of the car in front of you. If they're not expecting it, or if you hit them abnormally hard, that is certainly going to upset these machines. And you're seeing it right there. That's a product of it. And we see Jerry Bergeron go through the grass, bring out the caution for the 4th time on lap number 36. Dave Hunt continues to hold the lead over Vinny Masteus, Jeff Hollingsworth, Tristan Perrine, Brian Patty, Paul Crumry. Kevin Gunther is going to be sitting 7th. A nice run up to the top 10 for Bob Lacavera. John Zerke running 9th right now. Tyler White rounding out your top 10. While we've got the opportunity, let's talk about the schedule with this group. Tonight, obviously, at Talladega. Next week, they're headed to Charlotte. That'll be race number 9 of a 15-race season. And then it's going to be Homestead, Bristol, Texas, Dover, Kansas, and Phoenix to wrap up the season there on 8/5. That's August 5th. All these races will be covered live right here on Turn 1. And then if you're interested, the ARCA series running Thursday nights with this group. They just wrapped up, oh goodness, where were they? They were at Kansas. And here Thursday, they will be up, they're going to be at Phoenix. Then they go to Kentucky, Talladega, Chicagoland, Pocono, Texas, Atlanta, and then ending their season on 8-7 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Under caution here. For the fourth time out front, Vinny Masteus leads. I'm sorry, Dave Hunt led. He looks like he may have come down pit road. He did. Otherwise, anyway, so that's going to give the lead up to Vinny Masteus. He's going to lead on the restart. With Jeff Hollingsworth in the 97 going to lead that outside row, or well, whatever row Vinny doesn't take, we're going to step aside. You're watching turn 1. Pace car, lights are off, and they're going to duck down pit road, Jeff. Hollingsworth on the outside. Vinny Masteus on the inside. Row number 1. Now there's going to be Tristan Perrine, Ryan, Patty, Paul, Crumry, Kevin, Gunther. Your top 3 rows. Through the restart zone they go. Back green flag, racing with DRS at Dega. Huge jump out front goes Vinny Masteus. That is actually not going to bode well for him, and I'll tell you why. That huge gap that he's going to have, everybody else, well, they're not as bundled up as I would have liked to have seen on that inside row. There's going to be cars that have a huge run here that they're going to try. They could have used that to get by him. We saw Crumry and Perrine on that inside line had a big shove, a train coming there, but they thought they slowed up. They could have Took it to the high line and made that pass. But it looks like Masteus is going to hang on to the top spot out of 4 and through the tri-oval here. They're going to complete lap number 39. And right there, going to cross the halfway point of tonight's race for the Downforce Racing Series. Right here on turn 1, and here comes Paul Crumry. On the outside, he's got Jeff Hollingsworth right on the bumper. Ryan Patty, our pole sitter, right there on the third row on the outside, trying to make something happen. The car's really starting to get squirrely as they're back up to speed down the backstretch. Side by side, they roll into 3 and 4. Out front, Paul Crumry controls that outside line. Vinny Masteus continuing to hang on to the bottom, but Crumry has got Hollingsworth, and they are a freight train moving forward. They're both going to move down to the bottom as they cross the bumps in the tri-oval. Patty now is going to have not a whole lot of close help, and it looks like he is going to stall that run out. Kevin Gunther's going to come pull up to the bumper here. That outside line not as organized. Inside lane being led by Crumry, Hollingsworth, and Masteus. They're going to come up on some lap traffic here in a minute, and you're going to see the draft in full effect. These drivers significantly faster, 10, 12 miles an hour faster than the lap traffic. If you're in that third lane, which looks like where he's going to be, you're going to want to get out of there quickly. You're going to run out of room. This is going to squeeze 3 wide back there, but as we talked about, tons of space here at Dega. Nothing to worry about. You can run 3 lanes here pretty comfortably. Oh, we got cars bumping back there. They're going to spin in. It looks like, was that Caden Henry Oaks? No, it wasn't. I'm not sure who that was. Either way, that may have been Andrew Lutz Sr. It was. Those drivers really fanned out coming through the trial, but it looked like they were spinning. Meanwhile, Crumry controls the bottom here. Hollingsworth, Masteus, Perrine, and Lacavera, your top 5. Bob up here for the first time tonight in the top 5. He's up 7 spots on the night. Having a decent run out of that driver. Oh, and the caution's out again. We got several cars spinning back here. That's Lutz Jr. Mike Whitaker avoided it, I do believe. Mike Whitaker, I don't know if this was a solo spin. I show Henry Oaks also involved in this as well. Let's go back here and take a look and see what brought the caution out once again. Coming out of 3 and 4. Oh, it just looks like that car got loose by himself. That was Caden Henry Oaks, and he tries to loop it back around. I'm not quite sure what happened there. And then Whitaker also spun out. Let's take a quick look one more time at that from a different angle. Oh, maybe some net code with the 7. And then Whitaker just cut down to the inside to avoid, and I think ultimately he got loose. And then it also looks like the 80 went around. Those two may have made contact. Either way, the caution's out once again here. Paul Crumry up 7 spots on the night. Your current leader, Jeff Hollingsworth, up 12 spots, running second. Vinny Masteus, Tristan Perrine, Bob Lacavera, your top 5. And it looks like pretty much everybody in the top 10 is going to come down with the exception of John Anderson. I think he was running around 8th. He's going to stay out and inherit the lead. That'll be, this will be an interesting ordeal to watch here. We're under caution just past halfway at Dega. You're watching Turn 1. Back live here on Turn 1. Hello, everybody. I'm Sean Fitz, getting ready to go back green flag racing. Lap number 46 of 80 with the Downforce Racing Series. Out front, we've got a new leader. That is John Anderson. Out there, he elected to stay out. Tires don't mean much here at Talladega. Fuel will, but I'm sure we're going to see some more cautions. And Anderson electing to be like a couple others, like Dave Hunt, who right now is sitting in the top 5 looking for that track position. Anderson on the inside, Paul Crummery on the outside, and they're back green flag racing and rolling here as they come across the stripe. Jeff Hollingsworth on that inside line. It looks like Ryan Patty's going to move down. Vinny Masteas is as well. That's going to leave Paul Crummery up there all by his lonesome. I believe that's Kevin Gunther on the move. Masteas is going to move back to the high line. I'm sorry, that's not Masteas, that's Hollingsworth. There's a couple cars jockey back and forth here. Everybody looking for the best place to be. And it's all about driver preference. You know, in order to make a pass here, especially at this stage of the race, you're going to have to be on the high line. You're going to have to leverage those runs that high line gives. As you see there, Ryan Patty has got John Anderson way out front coming out of 4. But that outside line is going to be the place you get your runs. So if you want to be able to make moves, get up front, maybe try to stay out of the trouble back towards the rear of the pack, you've got to leverage that high line. But the low line, I would argue, from a driver perspective, is the easiest. As we see Sun now come over the racetrack in 1 and 2, most of the way down the backstretch. That'll change the handling of these cars just a little bit as Anderson, again, that car a little sideways, not sideways, but a little squirrely coming down the backstretch off the bumper of Ryan Patty. But that bottom line being the line that's most easiest to run, you get, especially as a leader, you can just fixate on that yellow line after window. Run that thing all the way around this racetrack about 80 or 82 times or so, whatever it takes. Stay out of trouble, be up front, and you'll win here at Talladega every time, only if it were that easy. Anderson, though, like I mentioned, going to capitalize on that track position. He is out front and leading here tonight for some of the first laps of the evening for him. He's got the pole sitter Ryan Patty right there off his bumper. Vinny Masteas also looking to have a decent finish here tonight. He's mostly staying out of trouble. He's been up front. And currently sitting third, Dave Hunt. The last caution prior to the one that just came out. Hunt stayed out and took that track position as well. A couple drivers, I'm sure, going to take some notes there. I don't think we can get the whole way on a fuel run here. They would have to stop probably one more time just for a splash to get to the end. But cautions will be cautions will breed cautions, and super speedway racing has a tendency to bring those out. It also can bring out some phenomenal green flag runs, as you're seeing that third line start to materialize there back towards the rear of the field, slowly creeping up the front. I believe that's Andrew Lutz back there pulling up that outside line by his bootstraps, trying to bring the 7 with him. That's going to be a tough row to hoe, though. Not a whole lot of help out there right now. This bottom line, especially when they stay organized, is the dominating force here so far this evening. Single file for the top 5, then it's double file for 2 rows, then they get they get 3 wide back there, roll it out of 2. And it looks like a couple drivers trying to figure it out back there. While we've got the opportunity, though, we got a bunch of folks jiving back and forth here. That's Hollingsworth. Now, all of a sudden, everybody's pretty much dumped Kevin Gunther in the middle. And everybody kind of going to the high line, at least from Hollingsworth back. But that outside line's not going to get rolling. They got really sideways back there. They're going to hold it together. But, boy, that was a moment for a couple of them. While we have the opportunity, let's ride on board Kevin Gunther, the driver of the 31 currently sitting 7th and on point of that outside row. Got a chance to ride on board several drivers there as they make a couple laps here around Talladega, but John Anderson, Ryan Patty, Vinny Macias continue to lead here on that inside line. It's single file for basically 5 cars back. And then Bob Lacavera is the last car single file. That is Tristan Pate. And a driver who I do believe just blinked out there. Was that Cody Eldridge? Oh, they're wrecking. That's going to cause some issues. Cody spun it around. I'm almost certain that's going to be due to net code there. He blinked and disappeared. That was well far back, and that's going to bring the caution out here for the 6th time tonight on lap number 53. Closing in on 25 to go. John Anderson, Ryan Patty, Vinny Macias, Dave Hunt, Bob Lacavera, your top 5. While we've got the opportunity, let's quickly talk about turn 1. The great place that you're watching these races on here tonight. We are looking for a little bit more race coverage. If you have an event, a series, a season, or a handful of races you want to have broadcast, you want to elevate your racing or those hosted racing events, head on over to Facebook, do a search for Turn 1 Broadcasting, and get connected. We've got a ton of broadcasting options for you throughout the week and through the remainder of the summer. If you would like to see the team at Turn 1 come together and be a part of your event and bring you to new heights with a bunch of different viewers and followers, head on over to Facebook, do a search for Turn 1. We'd love to hear from you. Under caution, once again here, lap number 54, John Anderson in the lead. You're watching Turn 1. Pace car lights are off. And we're going to have 24 laps remaining in tonight's Downforce Racing Series action right here at Talladega. Right now, Ryan Patty, he started on the pole. He's back on the point on that inside line, but he's going to have some company with Vinny Masteas right there with him. Dave Hunt, Bob Lacavera, row number 2, Tristan Perrine, and Kevin Gunther, row number 3, as the pace car is going to head down pit road. And as they roll through the tri-oval here, get ready to go back. Green flag racing again. 24 laps remaining. Those will fly by in a place like Talladega as this restart underway here. One thing I want to point out that is certainly worth mentioning. Looks like everybody's going to get rolling here 2 by 2. John Anderson, he was on the front, on the point before this car. When this caution came out, he came down pit road, topped off on fuel. Also looks like he took 4 fresh good years. And that could be the call. I think some of these drivers may be a few laps short. Most of the rest of the crew came down on 43. That would be just about a 37 lap run or so. It's going to be tight on the fuel window for some of these guys. We'll see if John Anderson made the right call here. Masteas out front. Speaking of making the right call, you see Ryan Patty. He's on that high line, or on that inside line, rather. They've been swapping the lead back and forth here. Here comes Andrew Lutz on the high line. He's going to have Paul Crumry on the push. Rolling out of turn number 2 up to speed. Lutz is going to be about a car length ahead of Masteas. Is he going to get clear, though? It looks like he's going to try to, but he's not going to be able to do it. Not quite there. Now Masteas is going to have the short way around the track. You're going to see that start to materialize right there. Bob Lacavera. This is a strong run for Lacavera. He's up 10 spots in that F5 machine. He is right there sandwiched between Vinny Masteas and Ryan Patty. And those 3. Now forward, Dave Hunt. Going to single file out that outside line. That pace is going to fall off hard here as they roll into 1. Masteas right now currently sitting 4th in the points. He would love to see a win here. That would certainly help him out. He's already got 2 on the season, but just sitting about 15. I'm sorry, let's see. Oh, goodness, that's hard to read. Oh, yeah, he's about 33 points off the lead. But more importantly, I would say that driver sitting behind him. That's Bob Lacavera looking for a strong point tonight. He needs it. Unfortunately, he's been caught up in a lot of drama this season. All over the racetrack, not had a solid run. And he's sitting 17th in the points right now. He's 157 back off our points leader, Caden Henry Oaks, who's having a rough night. This is going to impact Henry Oaks' point standings. Right now, he looked like he had 11 over Ryan Patty, but that very well could be all but gone here, especially if Patty can hang on to a top 10 finish tonight at Dega. Masteas clearly in dominant, or holding on to that bottom line. Oh, we got a car spinning on the front stretch. Not quite sure who that was. Was that? No. No, not 100% sure who that may have been. John Zerke? No, it was not John. It was definitely somebody going for a tilt-a-whirl back there. But either way, we're going to be under caution once again here for the 7th time with 20 laps remaining. Vinny Masteas continuing to lead. Ryan Patty, Bob Lacavera, your top 3. Again, one more time before we wrap up tonight's race. Let's take a look at tonight, or the upcoming schedule for the DRS racing crew. tonight. Going to wrap it up here at Talladega. Next week, June 24th, we're going to be in Charlotte. 7-1. That's going to be the holiday week. They're going to go take the action to Homestead Miami Speedway. And then they go Bristol, Texas, Dover. That's going to be a great run there. All three very unique racetracks, but very fast racetracks. Then they go to Kansas on July 29th and wrap the season up in Phoenix, Arizona on 8-5. All those races will be brought to you live right here on Turn 1 Tuesday nights, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. We look forward to seeing you there. Masteas Lacavera, Patty Lutz, and Crumry, your top 5. We're going to step aside. We're going to go back green flag racing with about a 17-lap shootout to the end. Everybody staying out. These cautions are certainly helping on the fuel run. We'll step aside. You're watching Turn 1. a 17-lap run to the end of this super speedway race for the Downforce Racing Series right here on turn 1. Bob Lacavera, Vinny Masteus, your front row. Masteus is going to be the control car as they roll down this tri-oval here, getting ready to get back green flag racing. Into the restart zone to go. Masteus gets it rolling on the inside. Huge jump from Masteus. He's going to move up and pick up Lacavera. That'll be interesting to see what that gets ruled as. That looks like a lane change before the start-finish line. We'll see if that becomes a problem. I'm not sure if that's going to be a rule they enforce here or not. Either way, 5-car single files. They roll out of 1 and 2. Masteus on the inside. Moving down through 3 and 4 here. And all of a sudden, a 7-car run, or 6-car, 7-car run, single file on that inside line. They're going to work to get up to speed. They're going to complete the first lap post the restart. As we've talked about, these cars take a while to get up to speed. And you're seeing that here. I believe that's Ryan Patty back there behind Bob Lacavera. They get connected now, a 3-car run up front. Everybody hanging on here. Lacavera's got Masteus way out front. Ryan Patty right there with him. Paul Crumry, Andrew Lutz Jr. Kevin Gunther also in this top 10 mix. He is the first car on the, the 5th car on the inside. Looks like the 7 of Lutz Jr. is going to move up. He's going to pick up, who is that there on that outside line? Oh, that is Andrew Lutz. I'm going to assume that's senior. Unsure of that relationship either way, though. They may be related in person, but they're definitely connected here on the backstretch coming down Talladega. 15 to go. Masteus continues to lead. Here comes Ryan Patty. He's going to squeeze out Bob Lacavera. Bob's going to be able to hang on, and he's going to be picked up by the 7. Ryan Patty squeezes out Lacavera. That was nearly catastrophe at the front of the field. It's not over. Lacavera goes to the wall. Crumry's involved. There it is. Lacavera spinning. That is going to be a huge wreck on the front stretch. Several cars involved there, but that all started up there with Andrew Lutz Jr., Bob Lacavera, and a couple others, and the caution's out here with 14 to go. Let's go back and take a look. Lacavera nearly had that saved. He just came down. Oh, and then Lutz just hit him. And then Junior got into Dave Hunt, and several cars going to be tore up here. Vinny Masteus out front, Paul Crumry, Kevin Gunther, Andrew Lutz, and Tyler White going to be your top 5. I believe Lutz is going to have to come down and attend to some damage. I'm not sure where Kevin Gunther stands. I don't show him involved in that. I show Ryan Patty. He's also involved. That is a big hit to Ryan Patty. He's back there currently 17th. He's going to have to come down pit road. And this only really intensifies what we're going to expect to see on this restart here. A lot of these drivers are going to have to come down. This is going to take a good portion of them out of the top 5, and they're going to have to deal with some damage. And that's going to be a factor for some. And we've seen how critical track position is, and there you have it. Gunther, Lutz, Hunt, Perrine's going to come down pit road. Hollingsworth, Jerry Bergeron down pit road as well. Lacavera, Patty, Lutz Jr. all heading down pit road. That's going to shake some things up because that is going to force a lot of these drivers that have been up front battling all night. They're going to be in some traffic for some of them the first time. Ryan Patty's been up front most of the evening. Remember, he started on the pole, but he's been up in the top 5 pretty much all night long. He is going to be marred back there, probably 15th on back. Same is going to be for Kevin Gunther. He's been running in the top 10. He's actually going to come back out 9th at the moment. Dave Hunt, he's been up and down the running order. He's going to come out 11th here. Bob Lacavera, this is just a really disappointing event for that driver, the 5. Lacavera and that Toyota Camry has really not had we talked about it just a little while ago, not had the season I imagine he was looking for here, and involved in another one. But that super speedway racing is the pace cars back out, and we're under caution here. 13 laps remaining under caution for the Downforce Racing Series. You're watching Turn 1. It's going to be 11-lap shootout to the finish if we stay green here. Vinny Masteas out front. Paul Crumry, Tyler White, Charles Woods, and hey, by the way, John Anderson back into the top 5. In the restart zone they go. 11 laps remaining here at Dega. Masteas out front, free and clear. No issues on that restart. Both lanes running well. Tell you what, I'm gonna call it now. If we were to pick a Turn 1 broadcasting pick of the night, it's gonna be John Anderson. I think he made the right call from a pit strategy standpoint, and it's kind of worked in his favor, albeit a little differently than I think he would have expected. John Anderson running 5th here with 11 laps remaining. But out front, Tyler White is connected to the bumper of Vinny Masteus. White would be in his best interest to continue to push that 70 car. Masteus knows how to control this field. He's a race winner here in these cars. Very quick across the board. And just needs to have a good green flag run, and I think he'd be in pretty decent shape, at least until they get about 5 to go. Here comes Paul Crumry on the outside. He's going to have a little bit of help on that outside line. It looks like that's going to be Charles Woods. Mike Whitaker back there as well, trying to make a run for them both. A couple of these drivers been involved in incidents here tonight, leveraging the opportunities to get those cars fixed up. As you see on the outside, that's Lutz Sr., I believe, out there rolling on the outside of Bob Lacavera. Bob now found the outside just there behind Tristan Perrine and Mike Whitaker, that group. Meanwhile, though, Vinny Masteus is going to have some outside row company here. It looks like they're starting to pick it up, and it's being led by the drive of the 97. Jeff Hollingsworth. We've seen Hollingsworth on turn 1 many a times in a couple different leagues now. He is running pretty strong on that outside line. He's looking for a solid finish to the night. They're going to come across the stripe. This is going to be 8 to go right here. Masteus in the 70 car, firmly in control the last 10, 15 laps or so. But it just takes one lap, one big run to upset this front of this pack. Again, if I were the driver of the 77 Chevrolet, which has got Masteus. Masteus actually moved high there, I think, to block the advance on the high line. He did, but here comes Hollingsworth. But back to the 77. If I were Tyler White, I'd be glued to the bumper of the 70 car here for the long term. But here comes, that is Jeff Hollingsworth and Paul Crumry. Huge run. They're going to bring Charles Woods up to the front. They're going to take that top spot away. Jeff Hollingsworth, your new leader here at Talladega. I do believe he led some laps last night as well at Chicagoland. Hollingsworth looking very quick at that 97 here with 7 to go. Up front is the place to be. Hollingsworth is really he is the only Ford in the top 10, so he's got no manufacturing buddies. But Paul Crumry pushed him all the way up there, and Hollingsworth was able to get him down low and get him clear of the 70. We'll see if that Toyota and Ford will work together here. Masteus is also in a really good spot to jump out if he sees a run coming on the outside. Speaking of, here comes Kevin Gunther, starting to materialize something. I believe that's Charles Woods back there with him. An outside line, not really rolled. Oh, we got a heavy blink out of Tyler White. Do not want to see that be a problem here as they come down the stretch. The top 5 single filed out on the bottom. Hollingsworth, Crumry, Masteus, White, Anderson. Now Dave Hunt's going to join him. Hollingsworth in control. Coming through the tri-oval here. Going to take the start-finish line. 5 laps to go here at Dega, as they roll into turn 1 and 2. Some of the quietest racing we've seen in a minute. As they come down through the backstretch here, 5 laps remaining. tonight's Talladega Super Speedway race for the Downforce Racing Series. Crumry glued right to the bumper here of the 97 of Hollingsworth. Mastea still sitting third. He's got Tyler White with him. This is the time to start making deals. Who's going to go with who? Masteas poked to the outside for a moment, maybe trying to see who would go with him, who wouldn't. White's going to blink again. That is going to be really distracting to John Anderson. That's also going to slow up Masteas' run. He's now going to he's going to have to use the 12 to really suck up to the bumper there with 4 to go. Masteas looking out to the outside. Maybe trying to get a little bit of clean air, a little bit of speed out of that car. He's going to look to the outside. He's not going to be able to pull it off. The Masteas is going to duck back down. The 70 car maybe looking to see what runs are possible. With Crumry right down to that yellow line. Staying to the bumper of the 97. Masteas again goes high out of 4. Nobody goes with him. He's going to need Tyler White tied to the bumper. Maybe he's using that up there to maybe pull Gunther up a little bit, trying to strengthen that outside line. He's going to need it to make a run. 2 laps to go. I'm sorry, that's 3 to go, rather. 3 to go. Get a little ahead of ourselves. Here comes Gunther. Masteas is going to straddle the lines. He's going to use that pull to get that outside line up there to him, but it doesn't look strong enough yet to make a run to the front. Hollingsworth right down to the bottom. Staying glued to that yellow line. Crumry glued to the bumper. And it looks like Vinny Masteas did not go up high fast enough. This is going to be trouble for the 70. Kevin Gunther making a move. Ryan Patty's up there. But Jeff Hollingsworth is going to lead. 2 to go. They're going to roll into 1. They need to get around one more time. They'll see the white flag. It'll be anybody's race at that point. Kevin Gunther. Ryan Patty's up there. Caden Henry Oaks back in the mix. Jordan Anderson stuck back around 8th. We got cars wrecking. We're going to see a caution. I take that back. We did not see the caution come out. I believe that was Andrew Lutz Jr. that just went for a ride. But either way, that outside line is going to lose momentum. That's going to open the door to the 70. Does he have enough help to get up there? Right now, I say no. Meanwhile, Jeff Hollingsworth is going to take the white flag one more time around here at Dega. Gunther is going to have Ryan Patty to the bumper. Hollingsworth has got Crumry tied to the bumper as well. Those two connected like glue down the backstretch. Here comes Gunther on the high side. Masteas is going to stay down low. No big runs coming on the high line. Here comes Masteas, though. He's going to use a little bit of side draft. They're going to come all the way through the tri-oval. Jeff Hollingsworth, Paul Crumry. This is going to be a tight finish. It is going to be Masteas. I take that back. That may have been Crumry. I'm sorry, not Crumry. That may be Hollingsworth. I show Hollingsworth your winner. Boy, howdy, that was a tight finish. I show Jeff Hollingsworth by scoring your winner. I show the 70 in second place. Paul Crumry third here tonight in the DRS Super Speedway race at Dega. We're going to step aside. We're going to sort this scoring situation out, and we'll bring you some post-race coverage. You're watching Turn 1. Another one in the books here. For the Downforce Racing Series, we'll talk to the third place driver of Paul Crumry. Paul, congratulations. That was a wild finish there. Obviously, you were connected up with the 70 car for the last closing laps. What did you need to do there to potentially squeak out a win at the end?
Well, I kind of made a pact with Jeff because he's my teammate, and I said, well, if Vinny tries to sneak on the outside, I'm just going to stay behind you and push you and see if I can't push you to the win. And he got a little sideways and got beat by just a nose hair. So it was just I would rather take second or third to keep the points going than to try to do anything crazy and wreck myself out and end up in the back. But no, it was a fun race, very fun race. So.
Paul, we see these super speedway races can obviously be those wild finishes. In your experience, what makes the most sense? Being up front or being maybe towards the back where you have an opportunity to stay out of trouble? Obviously, it looks like the up front move paid off in the end.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on how the night is going. I mean, it's flipping a coin with super speedway. I try to stay either middle back for a while just to get some laps in, but that last part I got up front and just with my experience in super speedways and all the wins I've ever got them on, you try to get up the front the last 15, 20 laps, and you just kind of hang there a little bit and stay up front. But that's kind of the strategy for me. It's just see if you can get up in the top 5 and hang out there for a little bit. But it seemed to pan out right. I'll take that third tonight. That's some good points for me. I led some laps earlier, and it was fun. It was fun. But yeah, it's all about strategy. We get teammates out there we're trying to help each other. Get up front, and sometimes it just doesn't happen. You get two guys like me and Jeff up there, and we got second and third. So we're pretty proud of that tonight.
He'll take the points here, Paul. Congratulations on the top 3. I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here soon.
Thanks, brother. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you. And with that, we will talk to Jeff Hollingsworth. Jeff, that's got to feel like some heartbreak after a pretty strong performance on the point there towards the end of the race.
What now? I'm sorry, man. I was talking to Vinny.
No, I apologize, Jeff. I was just going to say that had to feel like a little bit of heartbreak there coming to the stripe, dominating that inside line for so long. What differently could you have done to maybe pulled off that finish?
I don't think anything, to be honest, Sean. I just I'm looking at it now like we hit it right at the same time. It couldn't have been millimeters, but it doesn't matter. I don't know what you know about me, but I hate restrictor plate racing. Hate it. So I'm just glad to survive it and get a decent finish and led some laps and had a good time with my friends.
Well, that's all that matters, Jeff. Listen, congratulations on the top 3, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again at some of the series you run here with us on Turn 1. Have a good night, okay?
Yeah, man. Thanks.
Jeff Hollingsworth going to finish the top 3 here tonight. We will quickly talk to race winner Vinny Masteas. Vinny, congratulations on the victory. I don't know if it gets much closer than that. iRacing, or my scoring anyway, had Jeff winning, but clearly bringing home the checker flag. Talk to me about what that meant to get through and make that move there at the very end.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have very much help. I was working with Tyler there at the end. He wasn't able to get me. He was also blinking a little bit, but I just said, you know what, I'm going to go for it. I mean, I'm going to get third anyway. So I went for it, got the side draft there on PK, and it worked. I got to Jeff, touched a little bit, and honestly, I don't even know. I got to look at the replay. But apparently I got him. But close racing, good finish, excited about it. Talladega.
Yeah, Vinny, I was a little worried about you there. Obviously, that bottom line, it looked like you were going to be kind of trapped down there, especially with Kevin Gunther running the high line there and kind of bringing that group together. Were you worried about that with 3 to go, or did you know things were just going to pan out? That outside line seemed to be a tough audience tonight.
Yeah, most certainly. I was definitely watching. I was mirror driving the whole time. But once they got close to us, I started pushing PK and trying to keep that gap close between those two, hoping that he wouldn't overheat. But that was my plan, was to keep that gap between all 3 of us tight, bumper to bumper, if anything, and keep those guys from coming. Because I know that if they did get in front, they're going to be able to push forward. There's overheating issues, a lot more frequent than normal. It was a hot track today. So, all that being said, I want to make sure that once they got there, they were hot enough to have to back off of each other, and we got to restart and reset.
Well, Vinny, listen, congratulations on the victory here. A very tight one. Also, a really good night in the points, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again here soon. We appreciate the time.
Thank you very much. See you next week.
Thanks, Vinny. And with that, we will wrap up race coverage here. The Downforce Racing Series on Turn 1. Just a reminder that we go back live with this group next Tuesday night, 9 Eastern, 8 Central, right here on Turn 1 broadcast. And we appreciate everybody tuning in. On behalf of the league admins, I'm Sean Fitz. We'll talk to you again here. And the next time around, we'll see you Sunday night for more Sunday Night Thunder and Sim 500 coverage. Good night, everybody.